Sissy. Hey y'all. How y'all doing? Hey Sissy.
Hello.
What's
Hey,
going
sugar.
on?
I can't call it, girl. What's
Better
going
not
on?
try. Better not try. You get food every time. Every time you try to call it, baby.
Fact.
You'll get tricked. You better leave it alone. Hey y'all. Miss Judy.
Right.
She says,
I
I'll be
already
listening
know.
while working. Miss Scorpio Latte. Good evening, y'all. Miss Spark with 10 S's. Not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, not nine, but 10 S's. How about it? Miss Robin Lots. How you doing, love? Thank you so much for coming in. Is it upper lawn? Upper lawn. Upper lawn. Miss Judy says she's super sore. Knee steel toe up. Oh, God bless you. Spicy
Man.
Brown, 55. Hey, girl. Miss Shawnee. How y'all doing? Oh, Rochester, it's Upper Lawn. Okay, Upper Lawn. I got to remember that. Miss Upper Lawn,
That's
Upper
it.
Lawn. So, y'all see our topic of discussion today. My son hasn't.
Can't hear you, sis. I don't know what happened. Her mic is muted. Can y'all hear her? Because I can't. Put a one in the chat if you can hear Sissy. You can't hear me?
How about now?
There you go. I can hear you.
Okay. My son got me this new dang on computer, and I got to keep my hands off stuff. I got to keep my hands to myself. Y'all can hear me now, I'm sure, because I see what I did. It's kind of fancy little button over here that I just pushed that I need to keep my hands off of. So I got it. I got it. I got it. We're gonna have to give everybody some more time to come in. Sissy, you want to continue to greet them while I check with the
Sure.
boy and see what he is.
Hey, hey, Raw Troop, Upper My Boo, Scorpio Goddess Lache, Cheryl Wagner, and that is in Taborn, I believe. I hope I'm saying it right. MJ at work listening. Bridget, hey, Spicy. We already called you Sparks with the 10 S's. Lorraine Clark's in the building. Welcome. And I think that's everybody so far. Let's see if anybody rolled in down below. Nope. I hope y'all had a good Memorial Day weekend. Everybody's still fat and full. I am. I'm still eating my little burnt hot dogs on bun. Yeah, I
Girl,
think
ain't nothing
Sissy
like a burnt
goes
hot dog. They
back.
said, keep your hands off, Miss White. Y'all right. Y'all are so right. Before I was working on a laptop. I wasn't happy with that when I went and bought another laptop. And I still couldn't see.
Mm-hmm.
So y'all probably see me doing like this all the time. He's like, "Ma, you need a something big." So he loves his mama. He loves his mama. Yeah. So,
Oh,
but like they said, a shiny new toy, and I got to keep my hands to myself. This is my first time going live from here, and I'm just super excited. Everything is all big and bright and beautiful, y'all. It's making me
yeah.
shine.
It looks
Upper
clear
said,
too.
"Oh." Upper said, "Why do people like burnt hot dogs, girl? It's my favorite. It's
Mm-mm.
my
Girl, you ain't never had a
favorite."
burger.
We cooked everything under the sun for the first summer uh, holiday. We cooked everything under the sun on the grill, and all I wanted was them burnt hot dogs, and of course a few patty hamburgers. But and yeah, I did some grilled lobster tails, baby. Mm. I
Mm,
still can't get them. They were absolutely wonderful. But we did a little bit
I
of
know.
everything. We did steaks and lobsters and hamburgers, hot dogs, of course, chicken, beef ribs, pork ribs. We did some pasta salad, potato salad, baked beans. What else we made? We made a lot of stuff. We had
Coleslaw.
fun. Of course. Of course. Yeah. Rachu said, I love lobster tails. Yes, honey. Yes. You got to be careful. Any kind. Oh, we did some shrimp kebabs too. You have to be with the onions and peppers, the different peppers on them. You have to be careful with that. Any seafood, you have to be careful. But
Mm,
with that lobster tail, they are very unforgiving. One little bit of overcookedness and it's done. Like it's a wrap. You got to be very
I'll
careful.
bet.
Miss Judy says she grew up eating them crispy
She went
charboiled
roll
hot
tire.
dogs. Yes, sir. I love it. Don't ask me
Yes.
why. It's only one
I
kind
ain't
of hot
never
dog.
had a burnt hot dog. No.
There's only one hot dog that we eat, guys. And if you've never tried them, I suggest first we only eat beef hot dogs, but it's called Sabrat. It's a Sabrat hot dog, skinless.
Mm,
Mm,
it's a
good.
rock.
Like, yeah, they're very, very, very good. Very, if any people up here from up north, they definitely know what I'm talking about. I don't know about out west, but the New Yorkers definitely know what I'm speaking of.
Mm, I see it.
Yep, Miss Judy, part of the burnt hot dog crew. That's it, right there, baby. That's it. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it.
I never seen those. That's
She said,
wild.
I don't do chicken. It has to be beef hot dogs. Since you know I'm a foodie, so I'm always looking for for wild stuff. She says, I don't do chicken,
You
but it
find
has to be hot
all the
dog.
good stuff.
She said, you fancy. All I eat is Oscar Mayer,
Sissy, you should
baby.
start making a list.
And listen, who?
We had beef hot dogs.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
all
it
we
was
eat is
Oscar
beef.
Myers. I'm not. No, Ballpark Franks. Is that Oscar Mayer? Yeah, I think that's Oscar Mayer.
Oh, you teaching me something. I thought it was ballpark. So you saying Oscar Mayer make ballpark?
I think so. I see. I thought I saw. Let me look because that's something I need to know. They plump
Hi,
when you
bless
cook
family.
them. Y'all remember that commercial?
Yeah, ballpark. Done. But I outgrew ballpark. I told you my husband said, you
Oh
know, I
no,
had
they
weight
know
loss
it.
surgery, so I don't eat a lot. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
nibbler actually, and he be like, for you to have that little stomach, you got the most expensive taste buds I ever seen in my life. I'm like, my taste buds still grown up, just my stomach not.
Right.
You don't want to do nothing but taste it, and that's true. I just taste on
I
stuff,
can
and
put
I
it
be
down,
fine.
Sissy.
Hi Terry,
I can put
welcome
it
in.
down.
You can. I can't.
Y'all know I had weight loss surgery too in 2001, and me and
I
Sissy talked
I
about
do
that. But like for the most part, I could put it down.
I do pasta as well. I can do now. I can throw back some crab legs and pasta, but anything else I can't eat a lot of.
Oh yeah. Now I can't eat a lot of chicken. Chicken, especially
The texture is bad for me
chicken
too.
breast.
I can do the
Any
thigh well,
thick
but
cut
not
of
any other.
meat, but I don't.
Look at upper comment. She said, "Y'all ever heard the song? I remember that. Oh, I wish there was an
Yeah.
Oscar Mayer wiener."
You want to read some comments?
I remember that. I definitely remember that. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I,
The guys, we.
I do raw truth. Yep, I sure do. Got to be loaded. Mm.
So what you eat? Sauerkraut on your hot dog?
Hey Sherry, hey Ro baby. I didn't see y'all. Y'all snuck in.
Every now
Yeah,
and then
on
I do.
my hot dogs, but
Every now and
Polish
then I might do a little
sausages,
sauerkraut,
sauerkraut, Polish
but
sausages.
I do
Mm.
ketchup, mustard, lettuce. I'm down lettuce. Ketchup, mustard, onions, and slaw. And relish sometimes, but that's a hot dog for me. Like
Yeah,
with heavy onions, baby. Mm. Y'all, I was eating one.
they make taco dogs. Have you ever had a taco
I
dog?
was eating
Fix it
one
just
last
like a
week.
taco. Oh, really?
You didn't see me eating that hot
Yes,
dog my
sir.
daughter brought me.
Mm-mm. I don't
Baby, yeah,
remember.
right.
I know you was eating something, but I didn't get a good look at it.
It didn't last long. You probably didn't get to see it because I swallowed it.
Gulped
It
it
was so
down.
good.
It got swallowed up.
She said she liked Chicago style hot dogs. Man, let me tell you, when I was in Chicago, that was some of the best food. Let me tell you, AP corned beef sandwich, man, I'd kill for it right now. Not literally, but and Harold's chicken, and they put a Harold's chicken here in Charlotte, and it don't taste like what I remember Harold's chicken being like. And then that's what I learned when I make a cheesesteak about putting the egg in it. Oh man, I learned how to eat good in Chicago now.
Dang.
Deep
Eggs and a
dish pizza,
cheesesteak?
scrambled egg on a cheesesteak, baby. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to told you. What upper at?
Mm-mm.
Upper.
Mm-mm.
She said AP Deli, baby. I love Harold's as well. Upper, please send me some, girl. Dry ice it and send it. Upper, tell her about them scrambled eggs on tell her about them scrambled eggs on a hoagie bun with the cheesesteak.
On the tip.
Ain't nothing like it. Cause first time I heard it, I was like, "Ugh." But baby, it's everything. It's life. You know, I got funny taste buds, but yeah,
So
that's
it hit, huh?
it's good.
Wow.
I ate good in Chicago. I ate really good my stint in Chicago. Good food.
How long
Good
did you
food.
stay in Chicago, sis?
About 17, maybe 17.
Or was you visiting or you actually lived there?
I was there, baby. I was so glad to leave it. I was in a place called Hazel Crest. It's a little suburb.
Okay.
I was so glad to get back to normalcy. I'll never forget 4th of July. I had a sweater on because that wind was blowing. It was kind of chilly. Like, yeah. She said she don't do no eggs on no cheesesteak. She says I'm a bougie Chicagoan. Yeah, that's where I learned it from in Chicago. That was the first time I had it. It was at some little place. I can't remember, but it was the first time I saw Bishop Don Juan on the west side. Yep,
Lord.
Yep.
What he had on? A green suit?
What did that man have on? I want to say blue. She said, "Miss White, you tripping." Y'all look it up. I swear to God, look it. Let me look it up.
That's what I'm talking about
Mm-mm.
now.
They're trying to play me now.
Lord
Woo.
have mercy.
Look, I didn't have to finish typing it. As soon as I started putting it in, it came up.
Let's see.
Mm-hmm.
MJ said a weather in Illinois has mental health issues. It's bipolar.
Mother Nature, Mother Nature is bipolar. She's something, honey. I never forget it. I was ready to go home, but that was my husband's home. My ex-husband. That was home for him, and he had been away from his family for some 20 years, and he wanted to go make
Wow.
amends. Child, mm, mm, mm. The whole family worked for the CTA, Chicago
Mm.
Transit Authority. Yep, those were the days. Them was the days. So yeah, speaking of that crazy weather in Illinois, we're gonna be talking about mental health. So you have mental health, and then we talk about mental illness. Um, Mental health means we're checking on our mental health, making sure it's not becoming sick, and our mindset gets sick just like if we broke a leg or arm or something like that. And one of the most stereotypical thing in the black community is uh, they don't go get help. Like, I don't want people to think I'm crazy or there's nothing wrong with me. And if you get sick on your stomach or break a leg and it don't feel good, you're not going to wait but so long before you go get help. And there's nothing no different than how our minds work. It's a
Mm-hmm.
tool just like the rest of the parts of our bodies. But for whatever reason, us, child, we done started tripping about that thing. But I will say, here recently, I'll say maybe the past 10 years, we have gotten better. We are at least willing to go sit on someone's couch. And then they'll say, well, I'm talking to someone. Nobody wants to admit that something is wrong with them. And I have a little clip that I'm going to put on. I hear my son downstairs talking to his dad. So I'm going to find this little clip to put on while he's doing whatever he's doing. No, actually, sis, if you read a couple of comments for me while I make sure that I loaded it on this computer right. If you would, please, please. You're so sweet. You're so kind.
See, I had missed some of the conversation because my computer had froze up on me.
Oh,
Did you
I'm
ask me to
sorry.
do something?
Yeah, I got quiet because I thought you heard me. I was asking if you would just catch up on a couple of comments real quick while I check my computer to make
Oh, okay.
sure that I had the right one loaded, and I do.
Okay. Hey, Cheryl Wagner. Cheryl says down here in the South, there's a shortage of mental health care facilities.
Yes,
Spicy says,
it
my
is.
first time driving the snow was Beach Park, Illinois. I was terrified. I was 16 driving in a snowstorm from my little part-time job after school. I can only imagine. Cars sliding all down hills. Upper said, Bishop Magic Don Juan, that's everybody uncle. Girl, he ain't my uncle. Mm-mm. I'm like
Girl,
that.
I was fascinated when I saw that man. I was so fat. I was fanning guys. I was. I was.
Mm-mm.
That was a long time ago. Yep, I was. Hmm.
Mhm.
She said, "That's
Blessed
everybody, Uncle."
beyond
Is he
yeah.
still walking around the
My
city?
uncle.
But he hang on the west side. He's still doing the same stuff, Upper. Yep,
Pimping.
yeah. All right, here we go.
Hey, Blessed Beyond.
Well, guys, how about that? Silly me, I hit the wrong one. But did y'all read the things that were popping up on that? I did not mean to click that. My deepest apologies. Hold on one
Lord.
second. That's what I get for sitting under being nosy. I was being nosy trying to listen to what they were saying. Thanks, baby. One second, guys. I am grabbing the right one.
Bridget, that's awesome. Bridget just finished 2 trainings in mental health, sissy,
Oh,
for the youth on
really?
her job.
I
Hmm.
just saw a comment that Upper put up.
Yeah, where'd that go? Hey, Amber. She said Bishop is in Atlanta now, she thinks.
No, it was a mental health comment. I saw that. It was a mental health comment. I thought I saw
Oh,
about the black community.
Follow quick start instructions.
You see it?
mm-mm, not yet. I can read Miss Judy's comment. She says, we have a lot, and I mean a lot of veterans suffering from mental health issues. My uncle's PTSD from the war kicked in, and they found it was because of cancer that triggered it. Mm, wow. I'm
There's
sorry.
Upper's comment. She says a lot of African
Okay.
Americans go to church instead of therapy. And listen, I was guilty of that, guys. Me myself, um, my husband and I, we were very heavy in church, and we really believed that there was nothing too hard for God. Like there's nothing too hard for God, and we were taking this thing to the altar every week with my son. Like every week, twice a week, every Wednesday, every Sunday, we had him on the altar, walking and tearing, walking and tearing. Like, but we forgot about the part about faith without works is dead. Like we left that part out. We had faith, but we weren't putting in the work. And unfortunately, well, fortunately, we found that the work was in seeking help outside of the church. So, Upper, you are absolutely correct. Like that's personal for me. We cannot pray everything away. It comes a point in time where you
Yeah.
have to realize that something else is going on, and you got to get the
Hmm.
right kind of help.
You know what? I am so glad you found that comment just yesterday. Just yesterday, sissy. I was like kind of fussing, sort of fussing with my mom about some stuff. And we were
Mm-hmm.
talking. She was like, but you gotta pray. You gotta explore. And I had to tell her, hey, God just got me doctors. Those are my tools. So now I'm gonna slap that back in her face right there. What you just said, like, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
you
got
know
to
what's
use.
so weird is that's my everyday thing. Faith without works is dead. Faith wildwood. People like, what does faith wildwood mean? Faith without works is dead. So yeah, you just gave me something to combat my mom with. So thank you.
Yeah, we be in denial without knowledge. Like we don't understand that our brains get sick just like we have to nurture them and take care of them just like any other parts of our body. But I'm gonna start this. Hey, did y'all see I can maneuver through the components much easier now, Sissy? Did you check that out?
Look
I used to have to
at
find
you,
it, pull
girl.
it
Yeah, I
up,
see it.
be ready.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so proud of my son. Him love him,
I'm
mama.
ready.
Before we begin, we'd like to add a quick warning discretion. This video discusses mental illness, including eating disorders and PTSD. What is mental illness? According to National Alliance on Mental Illness, it's defined as the condition that affects a person's thinking, feeling, or mood for a sustained period of time that negatively impacts them. You might be wondering, is depression a mental illness? What about anxiety? Yes, They are. In fact, they're the most common types of mental illnesses. In this video, Psych2Go covers 10 of the most common types of mental illnesses. 1. Anxiety disorders. We know 18.1% doesn't sound like a lot, but that's the number of adults in the US who suffer from anxiety disorders. 40 million people suffer from symptoms of an anxiety disorder every year. Of those 40 million people, it's estimated that only 36.9% of them will get help. Anxiety disorders rarely appear alone, with depression being a common co-diagnosis. Anxiety disorders come in a few varieties: generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, panic disorder, social anxiety disorder, SAD, and obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD. So, what do all these anxiety disorders have in common? They're all characterized by nearly uncontrollable worry that messes with several aspects of daily life, such as sleep, relationships, school, and work. The good news is there are several treatment options available, which include different types of therapy and medication. 2. Personality disorders. What does it mean when someone's personality is disordered? Personality disorders refer to behavioral, emotional, and thought patterns that deviate greatly from the expectations of an individual's culture. The National Institute of Mental Health suggests that 9.1% of the population has the traits of a personality disorder. So what does this look like in real life? Could anyone who's a little different be diagnosed with a personality disorder? Well, according to the diagnostic criteria in the DSM-V, these differences must be causing the individual significant amounts of distress in the way they see themselves, others, and situations, inappropriate or exaggerated emotional responses, impulse control, and how well the individual relates to and functions around others. Personality disorders can't be cured, but thankfully they can be treated. This treatment consists of combinations of medications for the underlying mental health issues, as well as talk therapy. 3. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. If we say ADHD, what comes to mind? The stereotype of a person diagnosed with ADHD is usually a small child who's bouncing off the walls or can't finish a task. However, between 7.8 and 11% of children aged 4 to 17 are diagnosed with ADHD any given year. ADHD affects people of all ages and includes multiple symptoms, such as inability to concentrate, forgetfulness, inability to sit still, restlessness, and losing things. An individual's symptoms vary depending on their age, gender, and type of ADHD. Did you know there's actually 3 recognized types of ADHD? They're ADHD, combined type ADHD, impulsive hyperactive type, and ADHD inattentive and distractible type. Most people think meds are the only way to control ADHD, but many people diagnosed with the disorder find relief by using a combination of medications, life coaching, education, and talk therapy. 4. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Did you know that an estimated 6.8% of the US population will develop some form of post-traumatic stress disorder? That's about 19 million people in the US alone. So how does this happen? You, me, everybody will get stressed out by something in our lives. Some people will come across something so stressful that it affects them permanently. For many of them, this stress becomes trauma. A traumatic event is considered any event that should not have happened, such as a natural disaster, an assault, childhood neglect, abuse, starvation, and so on. Stress is a completely normal reaction to trauma, but what happens when the threat is gone? The stress and trauma stops on its own for most people when the mind and body understand the individual is no longer under attack. But what if the mind and body don't get the memo? Post-traumatic stress disorder refers to a prolonged fight or flight response that happens after the stressful event has stopped. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD, refers to the PTSD that occurs due to a series of continued traumatic events, such as childhood abuse. Think of PTSD and CPTSD as the echoes of the stress response. These echoes can happen in the form of emotional flashbacks, nightmares, extreme anxiety or panic, difficulties connecting to others, and an overwhelming sense of fear. So how does someone get help for something so overwhelming? People suffering from PTSD or CPTSD can find relief through trauma therapies, such as eye movement desensitization reprocessing, EMDR, or traditional talk therapies, such as cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, or dialectical behavior therapy, DBT. 5. Depression. An estimated 6.7% of the US population over the age of 18, 15.7 million people, live with depression. Although the occasional low mood is a normal response to negative situations, depression entails low moods that are severe and last longer than 6 weeks. Depression manifests differently in women than men. Women tend to experience depression as feelings of sadness, worthlessness, and shame or guilt. Men tend to mistake the symptoms of depression as fatigue and being easily irritated. Common treatments for depression include cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, interpersonal therapy, IPT, psychodynamic therapy, psychoeducation groups, antidepressants, and various brain stimulation therapies. 6. Bipolar disorder. An estimated 2.8% of the US population that sought mental health treatment was diagnosed with some form of bipolar disorder in 2018. This number may be low, as many individuals who suffer from any mental health disorder do not seek treatment. Bipolar disorder means a lot more than just really bad mood swings for a couple of reasons. First, people diagnosed with bipolar disorder cannot completely control these mood swings. And second, these mood swings range from manic, feeling super happy or invincible, doing crazy spontaneous things, grandiosity, and having racing or unrealistic thoughts, to extreme bouts of depression and maybe a little hypomania in between. Living with bipolar disorder isn't easy, but people struggling with the disorder can find a variety of medications and traditional counseling treatments to help them find more balance. 7. Eating disorders. Did you know there are almost as many people living with eating disorders as there are with bipolar disorder? It's true. Approximately 2.7% of individuals who sought treatment were diagnosed with an eating disorder in 2018. The most common question people ask about eating disorders is, what's the difference between not being happy with your body and having an eating disorder? Well, in addition to this total focus on their physical flaws, eating disorders are defined by dysmorphia and the binge, purge, restrict cycle of behavior. This cycle comes from the person's feelings of extreme distress and disgust about their body. This disgust drives the individual who has the disorder to become super focused on their body weight and shape. Leave a comment below if you want to know more about the binge, purge, restrict cycle. The eating disorders everyone knows about are anorexia nervosa and bulimia, but most people have never heard of eating disorders not otherwise specified, EDNOS, or avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, ARFID. Leave a comment below if you want to hear more about the lesser-known eating disorders. Everyone needs food, so how is someone who has such a terrible relationship with eating and body image supposed to get better? Recovery from an eating disorder is totally possible, with a combination of talk therapy, residential treatment, and medications to treat the symptoms of any underlying mental health conditions. 8. Obsessive compulsive disorder. If obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, is a type of anxiety disorder, why did it make the number 8 spot? Simple. Professionals say 2.3% of individuals will qualify for a diagnosis of OCD during the course of their lifetime. What's the first thing you think of when you think of someone who suffers from obsessive compulsive disorder? Did you imagine someone who can't stand the thought of germs? Maybe a person who turns the doorknob 27 times before they can leave the house. The common stereotype of an individual diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, OCD, is of someone obsessed with cleaning or counting to a comical degree. But that's not the whole picture. The reality of OCD includes a great deal of anxiety, rigid thinking, and feeling isolated from others. Individuals diagnosed with OCD suffer from recurring thoughts that they cannot control, which are referred to as obsessions. These obsessions can be things like cleaning or counting, but also include checking and double checking, feeling as though one will be punished for being a sinner, organizing and arranging, and hoarding. Having obsessions is different from being detail-oriented, or a little type A, because individuals who suffer from obsessions experience crippling anxiety due to these thoughts they're unable to control. The compulsions are the actions, such as cleaning, hand washing, arranging, and hoarding, that individuals use to cope with overwhelming anxiety and rigid thinking. So what is someone who lives with the reality of OCD to do? Although there's no cure for OCD, a combination of medical and talk therapy will help them manage their symptoms effectively. 9. Autism Spectrum Disorder, ASD. We've been hearing more and more about autism spectrum disorder, ASD, in recent years. That's because approximately 1.2% of children, 1 in 59 children, will qualify for diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder in the coming year. ASD begins in childhood, but many individuals are not diagnosed until adolescence or adulthood. ASD is characterized by significantly impaired social interactions, learning, and communication. Individuals with ASD may seem eccentric or unemotional to others, as they do not understand normal social cues. Some of these odd behaviors include seeming off in their own world, repetitive thoughts or behaviors, restricted interests, poor eye contact, and difficulty communicating with others to the point their functioning is greatly impaired. The most common treatments for ASD include special education classes, applied behavioral analysis, ABA therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, behavioral management therapy, and medication management. And 10. Schizophrenia and psychotic disorders. Did you know 3 out of 100 people will experience the symptoms of psychosis in their lifetime? Yep, this means 1% of the population suffers from a psychotic disorder. People usually have their first psychotic break between the ages of 16 and 30, which means approximately 100,000 adolescents and adults will experience their psychotic break every year. This does not mean everyone who experiences psychosis will always have a psychotic disorder. Medical and environmental or situational factors such as extreme stress, certain prescriptions, and illicit drugs can induce temporary psychosis. For individuals with a psychotic disorder, however, the symptoms last longer than 6 months. So, what is psychosis anyway? Someone suffering from psychosis has breaks or disruptions in their reality, which manifest in behaviors such as religious delusions, audio, visual, or tactile hallucinations, feelings of paranoia or persecution, and disordered or jumbled thoughts and speech. Schizophrenia is the most common psychotic disorder, but the DSM-V recognizes a few others. Would you like to know more about the other psychotic disorders? Then tell us in the comments below. Having a psychotic disorder can feel like torture, but it doesn't have to. Many people who are diagnosed with some type of psychosis are successfully treated with a combination of specialized medications, therapy, and case management. Have you or a loved one ever dealt with any of the mental illnesses in this article? Were there any symptoms on this list that surprised you? Which mental illnesses do you want to hear more about? Tell us in the comments below. As always, any information provided here is for educational purposes only. If you need mental health counseling or treatment, please contact your insurance company, local college students counseling clinic, or your county crisis line. Help is out there. For more information on mental illness and mental health, stay tuned to Psych2Go. As always, thanks for watching.
Can't hear you, sister. Can't hear you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was saying that I wanted to catch up on the comments real quick, and then I'll introduce my son to you guys, and we're going to go into his story. He has a very, very interesting story. Miss Bridget says, I totally agree. It's not that you're not trusting God, but we have to trust and believe that he gives us the tools. Oh, we talked about that. And Miss Cheryl said, right. Bridget said, us church folks who are deep are in denial of this. I see it every day. Miss Belt says, hello. Miss Judy says, I have anxiety. All the meds on the market cause me to become paranoid and made my anxiety worse. A doc had me teach me anxiety soothing exercises. Some people are speaking. Miss Judy says ADHD is often misdiagnosed as low-end autistic. Miss Bridget says, Miss Judy, also if you stop the meds cold turkey versus weaning off, it will cause adverse reactions too. You know about that, don't you? Scorpio says she's an ADHD mama. Me too. Miss Judy says, Bridget, I wasn't on it but a week. The doc forced me to stop cold turkey because the paranoid side effects almost made me crash my car trying to get away from an oncoming car that wasn't there. Oh my God, Miss Judy, I experienced that before taking oh gosh, not gabapentin, but the one over there. It'll come to me in a second. Miss Judy says, appreciate everyone for keeping up with the like button. Absolutely. She says, please like and share, get us into the algorithm. Miss Bridget says, wow, Miss Judy, wow. So sorry that happened to you. I hope they allow you to stay overnight at the hospital to monitor. Missy Amber says, my son has ADHD. She says, I can't hear you. Oh, I caught up. Okay. I'm Chosen says, MJ, I had to go through approximately 10 different meds before finding my balance. Mind you, one actually increased suicidal thoughts to the point I almost drove my car off the highway. I was taking Lyrica. That's what it was for me. Lyrica gave me horrible, horrible side effects. And Lyrica was for my pain and seizures, but it was causing me to have see things that weren't there. I think some of these kids are misdiagnosed, very much so, Upper, especially our Black kids. They just put that label on all of them. And I'm Chosen restarting her laptop. So, let me introduce to y'all D, my baby boy. Y'all, he has let me tell you now, he has social anxiety. He does not do well in front of large crowds. Although he's on the computer, he is aware that there's a lot of people on here, so I'll be doing a lot of the talking. He'll stop me if, and once he gets the feel of it, he'll take over. But D was probably around 13? He might not have been 13. Maybe he was 11 whenever he started having these episodes where he would just sleep. He used to play football. He was a very active kid, no different than the rest of our children. They said, you're so handsome. He was no different than the rest. He played sports, he nothing different at all. A neat freak, like everything wanted to be in place. Like he was nothing. So he started having these episodes in school where he was just going to sleep, and we could not figure out why he was going to sleep. So they did some lab work, and it came back, and it read that he was diabetic. Said that he was diabetic, and they began to give him medicine for it instantly because his numbers were so off the chart. He's taking the medications as prescribed. They started having us to give him a lunch, a snack. What was it? Before lunch and after lunch. He was having to get a snack to try to control the blood sugars and all of this. Well, long story short, we went through that for maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
During those 2 years, he started to be bullied at school because he was different. He was sleeping all the time. The kids were stealing his snacks. It was just a mess. And I remember it was so bad. He was coming home on the school bus one day, and he's quiet. He's always been kind of quiet. The police came and knocked on my door. And when they knocked on the door, I almost freaked out when they called his name. I didn't know if the school bus wrecked or whatever it was, but he had a fight on the school bus. And it wasn't just a fight. He went off. Like, he went off. And you can only imagine if the school bus is having to pull over to get 8 to 10 cops on a school bus. Like, he had all this resentment bottled up inside of him with these kids picking on him. He not feeling normal, so on and so forth. It was said that he roughed the, what was it, 3 or 4 of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
That he roughed them up pretty bad. And they did not charge him. They did not charge him because I'm that mom. I stayed at the school. I'm always trying to get to the bottom of things, but all parents weren't like me, and they, didn't try to take control of the situation. So when that happened, they didn't charge him. But after that, things began to get worse for him. So we started taking him to more and more doctors. He went to see a specialist, and he went to go see the endocrinologist, a different endocrinologist. And when they did, I can't remember what other test they did, but it came back and he says, "Ma'am, your son is not diabetic." And I'm like, "What do you mean he's not diabetic?" They said that he wasn't diabetic, and they had to get to the bottom of finding out what was wrong with him. He after that, he began to get discouraged, started to say that he didn't want to be here. He didn't want to live. He was depressed. Why can't they find out what's wrong with me? Why am I not like my other siblings? It was on and on and on. So the very first time my husband and I heard him say that he didn't want to be here, we went to church. We went to church. We was praying. We was walking. We was tearing. We was, you name it, we was doing it. The church was fasting. Everybody was turning their plate over together in solidarity for him. And it got worse after when we found out that it was not the diabetes. But what we later found out is that he was diagnosed with narcolepsy. And if you don't know what narcolepsy is, it's a sleeping disorder. And he could fall asleep at the drop of a dime. Eating, bathing, watching television, anything. He would just go to sleep. And they did a sleep study. And it's a renowned doctor. Her name is Carolyn Hart. I'll never, ever forget her. You see him shaking his head. He remembers her so well. She's retired now. She said that she had never seen anyone go into REM as fast as he had. And she had been doing neurological disorders for probably 40 years at that time. She had never seen a case like his. And that she informed me that as he got older, it would get worse. And it did. So,
yeah.
What?
Bomb comment.
Ro Baby says, I have a friend that has narcolepsy. So I'm sure you can relate, Ro Baby. And so as it started getting worse for him. He started not coming out of his room. We had to force him out of his room to eat. Guys, this dude right here, this dude right here, he was barricading himself in his room with almost as tall as my head. He was starting to barricade himself in the room, and he started saying that somebody was coming for him. He says not so much coming for him. He was afraid that somebody was coming for his family, and he felt the need to protect his family. So we were going through these spells back and forth during the times that he was woke. The times that he was woke, he was kind of like, and we kept staying at the doctor, going, like we were doing it. And God bless his soul, because he was fortunate. He still don't understand how fortunate he is to, one, have his dad's insurance from the military, to have my husband's insurance from his job, to have our NFL insurance, and as well as Medicaid. Like, he has 4 insurances, and he did not understand the value of what he had. I said, boy, it's people who can't get one. You got 4 good ones. So we stayed in those doctor's offices. We were in there, and he was at school one day, and I got the phone call that he had made an attempt on his life. And when I got to the hospital, the doctor told me, he says, ma'am, I don't know what it is about him, but he's supposed to be here, because what he did, he's supposed to be gone. And he just looked at me. He was like, Mommy, I'm so sorry. I'm just so sorry. He was adamant. I don't want to be here, but I'm sorry that I'm taking you through this. So we got him into some programs. They did in-home therapy. It got so bad, guys, that he did not go to school through. He was still in public school, but they sent a teacher to our home. It got so bad because he was now diagnosed with social anxiety. Now, the doctors were quick. They did not give him a diagnosis, a mental health diagnosis quickly, because they wanted to make sure that they stayed on top of the narcolepsy and weed all this other stuff out. But they first gave him a diagnosis of social anxiety. He had people who would come into our home and work with him. They started taking him out into the neighborhood so he could start, being amongst people a little bit at the time, like in control atmospheres and things like that. And that started to seem to work for him a little bit. And it would work until it didn't. And, we were on to different things, doing whatever it took. We were doing it. So that was the first time he made an attempt on his life. The second time, again, at school, because we were very hands-on at home. At school, he went to the nurse's station. He had to have a mat, a bench, and it was doctor's orders that he lay down for an hour at school to help him out. And him and the nurse were fond of one another. Like, they had a special bond, and he broke her heart because he walked into her office one day and grabbed the scissors off her desk and made another attempt on his life right in front of her. And he broke her heart, guys, because she just loved this dude. So that's when we knew that we was going to have to bring him home. And the school sent teachers to him. Like, I stayed at the school board. I fought for my son to get what it was that he needed as far as his education was concerned. We went through that battle. And fast forward, I think it was by the time we got the third diagnosis. He was probably 15 then. And they told us that he was, in fact, you want to tell them what your diagnosis was? Okay. You want me to just, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, but they called it schizophrenia undefined. So my heart just hit the floor. I thought that my son was just dealing with a severe case of depression and just afraid to be around people. He had watched me go through all my abuse. He's seen hands-on me be, look, guys, my abuse was not normal. No abuse is normal, but it was extreme. And I thought that he was dealing with that. And they told me that no, he was schizophrenic, undefined. And he would take his medication and he would do fine. But as soon as he would start to do better, he would refuse the medication. And they call it being medication non-compliant. And he could not understand for the life of him that it was the medication that kept him stable. And it's very common from the age of 15 to 22 that they feel like they don't need the medication because they feel better. We have sent him to several places for upward months at a time. We've done it all, and he still just would not stay compliant on the medication. By the time he was 8, I'm gonna say 17 because he wasn't 18 yet. By the time he was 17, he had a diagnosis of schizophrenia, manic depressive disorder, social anxiety, depression. What else? I'm forgetting something. He had a long list. Okay. Very long list. And he was in and out of the hospital still a lot. And we got him a new psychiatrist, and she says, hey, he's about to be 18. When he turns 18, we can introduce him to these injections. Once he begins these injections, the medication compliance goes out the window. Once the medication compliance go out the window, we see a 60% increase on the mental state. We started it. They had him on another medication for the narcolepsy called Xyrem. And that Xyrem was what, $7,000 every 2 weeks? But we didn't have to pay all of it. I think we were paying maybe $1,000 a week out of pocket. And that Xyrem put him in a sedative state through the night. So the goal was to keep him sedated through the night to try to trick his brain to be like everyone else's and think he had a whole night's sleep. And at the same time, it would kind of combat the mental illness, because what we found out is, just like anybody else, if we don't sleep properly, our brains don't work properly. And his was all over the place. So the goal was to keep him sedated at night. So they put him on the Xyrem, and that seemed to work for a little while, but it didn't work long. So that's how we got to the injections. We would do the Xyrem at 8 o'clock. He had to go to bed at the same time. 8 o'clock, you take the Xyrem, 8:30, he out. We would have to wake him up at 3 a.m., which was perfect because my husband went to work at 3:30. And
dose.
Give him the second dose to keep him stayed out through the rest of the night. But that didn't last long. So once we got 18, they couldn't give it to him even with our permission. He had to be 18. They started the injections, and bam, we saw not only a 60% increase, but a 75 to 80% increase. And he stayed consistent. And I think he had an episode when he was 22 or 22, 24. Because he moved out when he was 18. He moved out when he was 18.
He was 20.
Oh, he was 20. I'm sorry, I'm lying. He was 20. Listen, I was scared to death to let this boy move from under my roof. Scared to death. But the upside to that is he lives right behind me. So we are so close to him that it's not even funny. Like, he lives directly behind me. And so that, gave me some solace, but I knew I could not hold him under my roof forever. But he moved out at 20. And when he was 22, he had an episode because he was not taking his medication. And he torched his apartment. Like, he torched it. So, she asked, how long did he go without having an episode? At least 2.5 years. And when that happened, he went back into the hospital. He's 27 now, and we have not had an episode, anything. He feels like he's much more in control of his life now. He says, I'm a grown man. I don't have to worry about anybody bullying me anymore. He lives on his own. But he wanted out because I have small children, and they were a trigger for him. Noises and anything else like that, they would trigger him, even on the medication. So we had to let him move out. But God, he's amazing. God is an amazing God. And my son lives in an apartment for the disabled, elderly and disabled, right behind my house. He was 20 years old. And look, y'all, he burnt that apartment down. They gave him another one. That's why I say, y'all, my God is good, baby. My God is good. I serve an amazing God. But that's what prompted me to go get my license that I went to get to be able to help others. And I'll never forget, and I just heard Miss Bridget say she just completed some courses, but they let us put these headsets we had to wear to let us hear the mind of a schizophrenic. And when I heard those sounds, I was like, oh my God, this is what he hears. Because he would tell us that he hears demonic things, but he says, Mom, just like I hear demonic things, I hear angelic things too. I hear voices that tell me to do good things. And I was just floored when I heard the voices. And Miss Bridget, if you know what I'm talking about, where they when you take those courses and you get to hear the mind of a schizophrenic, and that touched me. And I had a whole different outlook on how I viewed things when it came to him. To this day, he still walk around with earplugs. He plays music for soothing. And yeah, what medicine do you take
Adderall, New Vision.
for your the music for your sleeping? Didn't Alexa? What was you on the Lexapro?
Buse bar.
Buse bar. What's the injection though? Because I can't remember what the injection was, but once he started doing the injection, all those medicines were gone, and I cannot remember the name of the injection. So, guys, in Vega, yeah, this dude right here is the reason why my heart is near and dear to mental health, and we had a long, hard road. Oh my God. Did we not? Woo! Lord Jesus. We had a long, hard road. But guys, let me tell you about this dude. You heard me say he lives in a complex for the disabled and the elderly. He goes by to the neighbors' houses. He takes their trash out for them. He moves their furniture around for them. He goes to the store for them. I've never watched this young man let a woman walk through a door without holding it open for her. I'd be like, God, you gave me this boy. God, yeah, he is so. I saw somebody say he seemed like he has a sweet spirit. Man, you do not know. You have no clue. Like, he will hold the door open for a woman. Y'all know I got a daughter on drugs. I watched this dude beat that man, beat the brakes off of him till I thought somebody was cut up. It was blood everywhere because you're not going to touch nobody he loves. Like, it's just not going to happen. And he did it with his fist. Like, he's a great guy. He's a great guy. We've been so overprotective of him. We have been so very overprotective of him. But when God gives him a wife, she is going to have a good thing. A good thing. He loves his mama. He goes to work every day. He goes to work. He earns his own money, take care of his own bills. Like, I never saw it. I didn't think that we would ever be to where we are now. I love this man right here to death, guys. I do. So I'm going to say, if there's anybody out here with mental health issues that are afraid, be not afraid. Get the help that you need to get. Reach out. Talk to somebody because it gets better. I promise you. He's a living, breathing witness that it gets better. You have to stay the course. You have to do the work because faith without works is dead. And I learned that the hard way. There ain't nobody pulpit gonna pull you out of it. Sorry. Nobody's. Just do the work. Get the help. But you know, he had to make up his mind that he wanted to be better. I couldn't do it for him. And when he made up his mind that he wanted to be better, he got better. We're 6 years in almost with no episodes. And I'm not going to say we won't have another, but I don't foresee it. I don't foresee it. His goals are copywritten, so if anybody tries to steal it, he has it copyrighted. Before he started getting diagnosed, he always wanted to go to the military, but then he learned that he wouldn't be able to go with his illnesses. So he has a plan that he wants to open a center for the disabled people that would be just like the military. They would get basic training. They would get an MOS. Like they would have everything that the military would have for the disabled people. He has a plan. It's written. It's copyrighted because man, his counsels and stuff is like, man, you going somewhere. And we're working on that, guys. We're working on it because people with mental health conditions have dreams too, and they have goals. He don't like to talk, but if you would just something you want to say to him so they can know you can talk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's not much of a talkative person, but a lot of what she's saying is true. You know, I don't see really anything wrong with me as far as my standpoint in my head. Disabled people are just like anybody else. It's just higher social standpoint. Somebody walking with two legs and two arms. Feel like they're normal, but I can't.
You can't explain what you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's just.
In other words, he's saying he don't think nothing wrong with him. He's just as normal as you are, but just like people with two legs and two arms think that stuff wrong with them. Same thing in the mind.
It's just when it's in my head, it's perfect, but when I got to come out, it's two different stories. I explain it better in my head than I can.
He's smart. He can build anything. He can fix things. He's a really smart kid. Like he is. God bless me. God blessed me. He blessed me with this boy. We call him Boy at our house. Everybody, his name is just Boy. But he blessed me with Boy.
I'm the biggest thing.
All right, son. I know you're getting as a little frigid. You good?
I'm good.
All right, I love you.
Okay. Yeah, have a good day.
Bye, baby. Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Love you, mama.
Love you more. All right, y'all. I'm good. I'm together. I didn't think I was gonna be crying, y'all. I'm sorry. Did I have an ugly cry? Oh, God. Sissy, you okay? You okay? I'm gonna go back to the comments. So, guys, that's what. It's okay. I'm okay. That's why mental health is near and dear to my heart because I have fought it. I have fought mental health and I won. It takes prayer and supplication. I'm gonna go to some comments while Sissy gets herself together. Scorpio Goddess says, in my case, I believe my baby was not tested when he should have been. And that's another thing, Scorpio. We have to advocate. We have to fight. You have to have your John Q moment when it comes to these doctors, because I hate to keep saying this, but in the Black community, they write us off and they shut us down. I was doing my research and I was not letting up. Everybody does not have 4 insurances. I get it, but there's things that can be done. You advocate and you fight. You advocate and you fight. Upper said, kids bullying. Whew, kids bullying when someone is different. And kids are so mean. They mean and they brutally honest. Real Baby says, wow, a wrong diagnosis. Yep. We went from diabetes to all the other stuff you heard me name it. Miss Bridget said his HTB and A1C. Yeah. His A1C numbers were like way high, Miss Bridget. His numbers were really high, and that's why they just automatically assumed, took on diabetes, because the reason the A1C read high, It's because his body was just completely out of whack. And his body was completely out of whack from not having any sleep. And so it read as a true diabetic, but he was not a diabetic. His numbers were just out of order because his body was out of whack. So yeah, upper, that's how they figured it to be diabetes. Ro baby said I have a friend that has narcolepsy. And she said, I had asked her, could she relate? And she said, yes, I can, Miss White. Upper says, oh man. Summer speaking. Gigi says, my nephew has narcolepsy. He's 40 years old and he falls asleep at the drop of a hat. Anywhere, he said, you can't fight it, but he is on medication. Yeah, and they can't fight it. Like no matter what. I take pictures of him laying out in my driveway. He lay on the porch in the grass, like everywhere. But with that being said, even with his mental health issues, I contacted my local police department. I got down to the sergeant of the area that I live in because my son was not going to be taken away from here at the hands of the police because they did not know or understand him. I made them get to know who he was and he them. I'm a big advocate for community policing. So if he was to ever have a situation, they would be able to walk up to him and call him by name and address him properly. And that's something else, because that happens a lot without mentally ill, where the police don't understand and they come and unalive them because they don't know how to handle them. And I'm talked to the chief himself of the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department. At the time, it was Chief Putney. And yeah, and I don't care who comes and who goes. They know they're going to hear Miss White mouth when somebody new comes on this beat. Even though he don't have situations now, you never know, and I still want them to know. And I advocate for community policing. Gigi says, my nephew has I read that. I'm sorry. I see the praying hands. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Upper says, I can tell he has a sweet spirit. And Taborn says, yes, Upper. Miss Judy says, Miss White, start signing up for the copay assistant cards through the manufacturer of the meds. A lot of meds got cut from $10K down to $200 and some as low as $5. That's good to know. We're going to have to talk about that, Miss Judy. Shireen Soto asks, how long did he go without having an episode? I think I addressed that when she put it up. Miss Bridget says, thank you, Jesus. We believe in God. No more episodes. No more. And we talked about what he's taking now. Upper said, D, you blessed man. Has his social anxiety improved any? Ro, it has. It has gotten, I'm not going to say he 100%, but he can go into Walmart, shop for himself, get what he need to get, and he beeline about the store, He goes to the corner stores. He does a little mingling. But not a lot. He likes to spend a lot of time in the park. He can draw. He's an artist. He can draw very well. And he'll go to the park and he'll draw the things around him and all of that. And then he'll come on back home. So his social anxiety has improved some. It's nowhere near where I would like it to be, but I do see an increase in it. He's met a young lady who has some of the same issues as him, and she's beautiful too. She's beautiful. As a matter of fact, her mom is his new what do you call it? The community manager. The manager over the apartment complex is her mom. So God has his own way of doing things in his own timing. Miss Judy says, my cousin refuses his meds. He walks the streets and he tells us he is fighting demons, the military of aliens and angels. They can't find a good med combo for him. And that's the key, combo. Man, we went through so many medications and whoo, child, it was something. And once we finally found the right combo, and they tell us to always remember how we built up to his combo, Because if anybody else in our family ever ends up with mental health issues, 9 times out of 10, their regimen would work the same for somebody else in the family. So that's good to know, Miss Judy. If you know anybody else in your family that has a regimen that they are on, that regimen would likely be best for him as well. Upper says there are a lot of parents that are in denial about their child's mental health. Some kids' conditions declines because they won't face it. Upper, I had to battle that demon. Like, I had to come to reality that something was wrong with my son. Like, it hurted me. Listen, guys, our oldest son is a principal. The next oldest is an engineer. He builds private jets. I have one that's a nurse, one that's a management for the gas company. Like, we had kids that's doing some big things. You know what I'm saying? And I was struggling. Like, what do you mean? Something wrong with him. Y'all out of y'all mind. But I had to come to grips because the reality was in my face. And when he started making all these multiple attempts on his life, and everybody used to ask us, were we afraid for our own safety? He never wanted to do anything to us. He always felt like he was protecting his family. He used to feel like he was a letdown to us. He used to think that he was too much for us to handle. But we showed him, didn't we? We rocked it out with that boy. We did. Upper says, Bridget says he's a miracle child. He has angels all around him too. Miss Bridget, let me tell you, when I gave birth to him, he did have meconium, but I kept telling the doctors something was wrong, and they kept telling me, "Oh, ain't nothing wrong. It's part of pregnancy." I'm like, dude, I done did this 100 times. Not 100 times, but you get what I'm saying. Like, this is not normal. But come to find out, he was beginning to dissipate in my womb. He was getting sick in my womb, and they had to do an emergency induction to get him out. So he's special.
Wow, sister. My son had a meconium too.
Oh, really?
Yep. That's wow. And he had some issues. He was the baby I was telling you about that they tried to make me give him Ritalin. I'm like, I seen how that affected him. I'm like, give my child this. He would bounce up off the wall all wee hours of the morning. But he is so freaking smart. It's just and it's like little things just kept happening. At one point, I was rebuking these ticks. He would get these ticks, he would I'm like, oh, what is this going on? Girl.
That means education.
That's just weird that you said that. Like, when you said that, like, oh my God, like, what if there really is like something connected to that as well?
Yeah. Miss Judy says he chose you as his mom because he knew you would support him and help him get through this life. Yeah. Spark says, so touching. Ro Baby says, beautiful testimony, Miss White and D. And Bridget says, glory be to God. You're an amazing mom, Miss White. Thank you, Miss Bridget. Thank you.
She is, y'all. She is.
And Tyborn says, oh, Miss White, you're such a great mom. Your son is so handsome, and God has kept him here for a reason. This has really touched me. Thank you. Thank you. Upper says, you go, D. He downstairs, y'all. He was getting a little anxious, but I'm yelling. She says, you go, D. She says, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Wow, an amazing. That's Ann Xfinity Fun. Fuller says, wow, an amazing. I work with a counsel person who suffers from this. I think she's saying he fought so hard for special needs. Blessings. And I fought them people. The school banned me.
Wow.
They put me out the premises. I called a superintendent. They had an emergency meeting. He was like, you are not banned from the premises. The principal, she hated my ass. She hated me. And I don't care. I did not care. And but we had to get deep with the Council for Children's Rights. Like, I was not playing with them people, honey.
No, that's right.
I'm playing. Bridget says, D, you are awesome, man. I will be praying for you that all your dreams are fulfilled here on earth. Yep. Real Baby says, Amen, D. You're absolutely right. Nothing is wrong with you. Such a blessing. Many blessings, D. Y'all, he's a sweet man. When I tell you that dude, he amazing. When we did the giveaway with D Brown for Christmas, he's like, I got you. I want to sponsor somebody too. Like he's so hands on. Like he has my heart. Like he gives everything. Like that dude, he is something special. I love him. Let's see. Where was I at? Miss Judy says many blessings to, we call him Toot, y'all. Toot and Boy. Ian Tabert said, oh, so sweet. They said goodbye to let's see. Chatty says to hop on YouTube and catch this. Yeah. Miss Judy said, no ugly cry. You had a loving mother's cry. Yeah, hi Chatty. Thank you for the hearts, Raw. Bridget says, got me in tears, Miss White. It's different when you have sons of your own, man. Ain't nothing like a mama and her sons. You know that. Yep. Chatty says, I have no words, just offering love and lots of it. He is beautiful. Yeah. Because he had gained weight. When he was about 20, that boy was about almost 300 pounds. Wow. That medicine, boy, it was putting it on him. They switched his medicine and got him the injections going and all of that, and he started to work. He slimmed back down to his baseline. Like he didn't do nothing extra. He just went back down to what he was at. Wow. Chatty says, oh, I read that. Did I have no words, just offering love and lots of it. He is beautiful. Shireen Soto says yes. Chatty said, look at me, Chatty. I'm making up something. Chatty says, hey, my Miss J. Miss Stop That says, sending virtual hugs to advocate. Absolutely. Hi, Lawanda. Thank you for coming in. Scorpio says, oh, yes, ma'am. I have been advocating, letting them know that they have not got all his diagnoses. And you tell them you live with him every day. Not them. Don't stop. Don't you let up. If you don't like what the doctor's doing, get you another one. Get you another one. It's your choice, not theirs. Miss Judy says, a lot of the problem is the insurance also. They put such strict restrictions on test times with the doc, imaging, you name it. They deny life-saving meds as well. Miss Judy, I have fought with insurance companies. Get on the phone with the insurance company. Tell they ass a thing or two also. And they tighten up. But see, a lot of people don't know that you can go and refute what the insurance company says. Like they have a standard guideline, but everything has a way around it. Find your loopholes.
Yeah.
It's all about the doctor writing the right thing in place. They have to be a team. And you let them know that you may not be a doctor, but you are part of his medical team. and don't let up. Don't let up. Just don't show out. Don't curse them out, because once you start cursing, they'll try to ban you and dismiss you from the practice. But you stand 10 toes down and you let them know where you're coming from. And their attitudes change. Miss Stop That says, sending virtual hugs. Scorpio asks, are you good? I'm chosen. She's very sensitive, guys. That's why I knew just to mute her and move on, because I know my sister. Rob Truth says, nowadays you have grown adults verbally bullying kids too. Ain't that sad? Ain't that sad?
It's terrible.
Miss Judy says, for my cousin, they originally put him on the strongest doses of Ritalin, spelling I know is wrong. It literally fried half his brain, so that is why they can't find a good med combo. Oh. I told the doctor, I said, if you want to put your child on it, don't put mine on it.
Right, that part.
Put your child on it, don't put mine on it. But Ritalin is, I'm sure your cousin is older, because Ritalin is an old drug. They now they're on to like Vyvanse, which my baby takes Vyvanse, and it's amazing. It's nothing like Ritalin, and we get the same results without the crash and all of
Yeah.
that. There's nothing obvious about Jay or anything. And the Vyvanse does what it's supposed to do. It's a couple of more out there. Ritalin is an old drug that should not have been given to our kids.
Exactly.
Ross says, upper yes is sad, and that's why I took them out because of these adults bullying children worse than their own peers. You got to watch out for some of these adults too, because they do say things that are, and that's true. And that's part of the reason why whenever I started taking care of my grands, why I homeschooled them, because I had the school system had left such a bad taste in my mouth. Like I didn't want to deal with them. So I homeschooled. And the only reason that I put the little ones into public school was because once we found out that J-Bug was ADHD and severely with some other conditions, it was out of my control. She wasn't retaining the knowledge that I was teaching her. And I use time for learning. They give me the curriculum. They have tutors on site, all of this. And no matter what we were doing, she wasn't catching it. So I told her doctor, I was like, well, it's beyond my control. It's out of my hands. It's beyond what I can do. So I was going to put her in private school. And she told me, no, don't put her in private school because they're not going to accommodate her. She said, unfortunately, public school was going to be her best option. And that's why I put them in school. Now, my May, he's 3 grade levels above. He got my brain. But he in the first grade and he go read to the 3rd and 4th grade students. Super smart. Super smart kid. Super smart. Ross says, now Journey has more intellect than him. I had to back up. She has more intellect than him, but he has more book knowledge than him. And she takes advantage of that too. She does.
Girl.
Ross says, upper yes is sad. Oh, I read that. Sexually speaking, she says they are mean and can be humiliated to a child. It's disgusting. Very much so. Mm-hmm. Upper says this live is really good. Thank you, Upper. We appreciate that. Yeah. Hi, Anomaly. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Miss Judy says you can see that he is super sweet and protective. When you spoke on the dude, he smirked. He is God seeing. Like I'm telling you, man, when he get a wife. And see, we've been very protected because he's a good looking kid. And but we've been protected because we didn't think everybody would be kind to his heart.
Right.
And not only just his sisters, they're like, who is you? But now he's shown himself to be strong. He's shown himself to be mighty. And we have to start to let go. We have to start to let go and let him live his life. At his big old age, that's what Leah say. Look at him with his big old age.
And he a mama's boy all day.
Yep. Ms. Judy said the biggest loophole with insurance is during your appeal demand, an actual doctor to review the appeal and for them to show proof a doctor reviewed it. Absolutely. But I just recently found out, Ms. Judy, you can get an appeal demand done within 48 hours. I just found that out when my sister was in the hospital. Miss Judy, she says, yes, they started my cousin on it in the late 80s. Horrible medicine. Risperidone too. If you did spell it correctly. And Miss Judy says, in my city, they just put kids with ADHD in class, no IEP, no help, no nothing. IEP is federal, Miss Judy. That's from the federal government. There's no state in control of that. They need to get right. Because I sure got an IEP for my son, and I just recently got one for JJ. Scorpio says, I enjoyed the live. Thank you so much. The Dom that says, going through something right now with my autism son. Took him out of public school just for him to still get abuse and bully on video. Dissolve that. What school did you put him in? I'm curious. Because it's to my understanding, it's the public schools is where they need to be so they can get all the help and things that they need for him.
Mhm.
But baby, if you got it on video, you got a whole lot in your hands. Hi, Miss Hattie. Thank you for coming in. Dissolve. I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm disgusted to hear. Not only sorry, but disgusted. Disgusted. I told you they put me off the campus, honey. They were like, "You got to get away from him, Miss White. We can't deal with you, but you're going to. You might not want to, but you're going to. You got it,
Yeah.
honey." They were so glad they try to hurry up and help me get them services for my son home. It's like we got to see this. Let's get it. They was tired of me, tired of my tail. Miss Judy said Illinois government is ass backwards. Yeah, but if you know of a child in need with that IEP, you have to reach out to the Council for Children's Rights, which is federal as well. They hate it. They are afraid of them. You go to the school because see, it's the school who starts the IEP. The doctor and the teacher starts it. Then the guidance counselor comes into play, and then the special education coordinator picks it up from there. But they first have to see the need. And once they see the need, which would be whoever classroom they're sitting in every day, she then takes it with the parent to the guidance counselor, and you move from there. So if anybody's in need of an IEP or they see something wrong with their children, reach out. I'll show you how to get it done.
Yeah.
Lupot says, I'm late because I had a live schedule also. Oh, you're fine, sweet. Thank you for coming in, Lulu. I appreciate you, girl.
Yes, baby.
Scorpio says, all dissolved that my baby is at another school and he loves it. I am having to pay high rent just to keep him in the district. Do they not have like McKinley-Vento where you are, Scorpio? Because see, these are other things that people don't know about.
What's that, Susie?
There were programs in place where like mainly it's for like homelessness and things like that. Or if you're having to move, let's say she just said she had high rent and you can show that you can't pay your rent and you could be facing eviction. They have to keep your child in the school district that you have them in. So it's ways around, some stuff. And you might have to finagle some stuff and move it around, but it's ways. There's definitely ways. A lot of people ain't never heard of McKinley-Vento, don't even know what it is. I learned a lot, y'all, dealing with my son. I learned a lot because before they took him out, I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Charlotte, but I live Center City, Charlotte, and they bust my son to school all the way in Matthews, North Carolina, just for me to get him in a good school. Just for me to get him in a good school. So, yeah.
Y'all know what? And speaking of that, this is why it hurts me. It really be messing with me and it be pissing me off. Sissy is so knowledgeable, y'all. She has so much to offer and give. And the stuff that be going on, the childish and the kitty stuff, like, I don't know if you guys got a chance to look at the community. Well, we're supposed to help each other grow. And like we said, we want to build a community. Just this little live right here, we really hope it impacts someone. We hope that you get something out of it, for those of you that suffer with depression or have loved ones that have diagnosis like schizophrenia or bipolar or sleep disorders and things of that nature. This woman, like, she is a lifeline. Just like, what was that, maybe last week or 2 weeks ago, I was telling her about, there's some, insurance discount that I signed up for and how I'm supposed to get. They want me, like, I've been through therapy in the past, and at this point, my situation is kind of speeding up a little bit at a time. It's like I'm going from one level to another level of all the things that was predicted that would happen if I did have surgery or if I didn't have surgery on my spine. And so I was explaining to her, and she was like, This is what you need to do. Boom, 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 bam, boom. I was like, light bulb went. I was like, oh man, right, okay, yes. So like, please, just you don't have to take up for her, but just don't feed into negative comments when you see them floating around or anything that's going to discredit her to help somebody else. Because at the end of the day, that's what God put us here for, is to help each other.
Thank you so much, Sissy. That means a lot to me. And I like what you just said. Like, when you hear this negative stuff being put out here about me, you don't have to take up for me, but don't feed into it either, because it's not true. It's not true. Listen, guys, y'all have heard me say before that I'm writing a book about my life. I've been through some shit. Like, I've been through some stuff. And then I'm a know-it-all. So I take my life lessons and I don't mind sharing with other people. If I know how to get something done, I don't have a problem with sharing it with somebody else.
Yep.
I don't. I have no problem with it whatsoever. I too, like my son, used not to want to be here. Now my reasons wasn't for his reasons,
Right.
but I used to want to take my life. And I used to ask God, well, am I getting payback for what I did to my parents? Like, I used to say, oh, kind of stuff. So that's why I was doing a whole lot of praying, because I was thinking that I was getting back, because they said you get it back, and I was definitely getting it back, but I didn't know. But see, I had a rough childhood, guys. I had a scorned childhood and all of that. I didn't have a good childhood, period. And I didn't have a good young adulthood because I was so busy trying to get away from my parents that I ran into the arms of a Negro. I remember when I left my first husband, I said, I got to go. I said, I got a baby that I can't teach nothing because I don't know nothing. Man, I got jumped my tail out there in that street feet first. And I learned some stuff. Y'all, I've been through some stuff. And I'm not looking for sympathy, because look where I am now. But what I'm saying is, I don't have to get out here and be messy. I can be messy. I know how to do it, but for what? For what? I don't have to do that. I've lived through some shit.
Yep.
I have, and I have a testimony. And if I share, and I'm knowledgeable by default. Let me put it that way. I'm knowledgeable by default because I went through some things that I should not have had to go through, but God allowed me to see myself through them. I have a saying that I say all the time. Now, Lord God, help me to help myself. I say it all the time. Lord God, help me to help myself. I say it so much, but I don't mind. I don't mind. I'm not selfish. I'm not selfish. And when you hear about Miss White being messy, if you don't hear me say, I'll admit it. If I did something, I'll be like,
She will.
yeah. Might not have should have, but I did. But this other shit, y'all, that mess last night, baby, child boo. I ain't no mastermind behind nothing. I got know-how. I have know-how. It was the very same person that was saying that told me I was their secret Olivia Pope. Not a miss. Child boo. Scorpio says, my baby is in life skills and he does have 2 classes that he attends. Scorpio, how old is your baby? Bridget says McKinley Bento is awesome. Check with your state. Absolutely. There's no reason for us not to be getting anything that we need out here in this society, because it's one way or another for us to get what we need. Yeah. Tabby says, this is very educational. Thank you, ladies. Scorpio says, yeah, I have heard that, but I found an apartment that is in the range and still in the school district. Write the name again in the chat, please, and thank you. I did rewrite it for you, but it's McKinley Bento. And that's for anybody. It's from state to state. It's not just one place. Ro Baby said, this was definitely an informative live for me, and I appreciate you guys for bringing awareness to mental health. Absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all, listen, we got to learn how to inform ourselves more. We got
Yeah.
to learn how to inform ourselves more. It's a person in this sector who doesn't like me, and it was said that they didn't like me because I think I know everything, or I think I know too much, or however it was that they worded it. I like to know stuff, and that's why we go it out because we don't inform ourselves. Let me tell y'all something. Them other races, we get mad at the Mexicans and all of them coming over here, and they getting off. They getting off, baby. They building houses and businesses and everything else. Just like the people from the Asians did some years ago. They came over here and did the same thing that the Hispanics are doing now. And guess what? That's because they found out everything that our government had to offer. We don't know. And when somebody try to tell you or school you, then they think they know everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Hi, Miss E. Thank you for coming in.
Kayla in the building. I see all my babies in the building, and we
Hey,
love
Kayla.
y'all. We love
Welcome,
you.
Boo Love. She says, hey, Miss White, and I'm chosen. Hey, chat, and hey to everybody that's speaking. Hi, Angie. Thank you for coming in.
Kisses.
Thank you. Y'all don't be over there talking about me either. Talk about Miss White was crying. Yeah, that's my baby.
Oh God, please don't be talking about me.
That's my baby. That's my y'all do not even know. And that was just a brief, like, little run through. It was a whole lot of stuff in between there. That's my dude, y'all. That's my dude.
I know that's right.
That's my dude. And what I'm just saying, like, if you watch him walking down the street, like, he just got off work, so he don't have no clothes on and none of that. When he put his clothes on, the brother is, he got his stuff together. That's why I say mental health doesn't have a face. It you don't know what it looks like because you won't know nothing wrong with him. Wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
Scorpio said he's 15 going to the 11th grade. He didn't have his first IEP at kindergarten. They tried to fail my baby, but I went,
Girl, they tried to do my son the same way in kindergarten. Like, really?
A lot of it is we have no clue where to even begin to get the help we need. You know what, Miss Judy? You're right. And let me say that. It's because we're so private. I'll be telling nobody my business. I don't need them to know nothing. I figured out myself. Don't tell them. Nuh-uh. Keep them No. But you don't know how one small share can take you a long way. One small little share. You don't know who God has placed in your path. You don't know who that angel is that you may need to entertain, or that ram in the bush.
Yes.
Good morning, said knowledge is power. The more you know, the more you can share with others. Tell you something. I'll be like this at night reading. Here I go. Look, like my books and my phone. Just I like to know stuff. I'm the type of person I can be watching a movie. And if it's something in that movie that I don't know about or I'm not familiar with, I will pick up my phone and start reading it while my mind kind of go two ways. And I'll be reading it as the movie is going along. And then I'll bookmark it and go back and familiarize myself with it. That's just what kind of person I am.
Yeah.
A lot of it is we have who I read that. Here we go. Upper says that's true. Some people are speaking. Robin says you're speaking the truth, Miss White. Good morning, Gorgeous says, hey, I have to catch him on the replay. Oh, she says, oh, on the replay. Yep. My boy. And Angie says, Angie, you still my girl. Lil Pot says, I can't watch this live from the beginning. Miss Netnet said, hey, Miss White in chat. Hey, Miss Netnet. Bridget says, and when he kissed you on your cheek in front of all of us, I knew that he loved his mama. Girl, that boy kissed me anywhere. He get on my nerves sometimes, boy. You always want to hug and a kiss. I always want to hug and a kiss. I told him this last night, y'all. Guess what he said? That one day I might not be able to hug and kiss you. Made me shut my mouth right up. Oh, let me tell y'all something else he said before too. I remember asking him. I say, "Too, do you feel some kind of way that people might call you crazy?" Because I'm very vocal with him and we talk a lot. He says, "No." He said, "Why you say that?" I said, "I'm just curious. I just wanted to know so we can combat it. Try to find a way to talk about it." He said, "Ma, I'm not crazy." And I should have said that when he was talking. He said, "I'm not crazy." He says, "It's the crazy people that don't get help."
Right.
Was that not?
Sure.
He said, "It's the crazy people that don't get help." I said, "Well, damn." Yeah.
Was he did you breastfeed him? Don't you say yes.
No.
You didn't? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I breastfed my boy.
He would not latch.
My son has this thing, y'all, where when he was, when you breastfeed, they reach their fingers under your armpit. And he was trying to still do that stuff sometimes. He'd be like, "Hey, mama," and that's the first place he want to start grabbing. Like, "You don't get away from me." Oh. Yeah, breastfed sons. But the son and the mother relationship is nothing like it. It's nothing like it.
Good morning, gorgeous. Says, I heard that, Latte. Big ups to you, Mama Strong. That's right, honey. Ain't nothing like a strong mama. Lupa, have your tissue on hand when you rewatch it. The story will touch your soul. Oh,
yeah.
And I guess it's not that powerful to me because I've been through it. Like I lived it. Like we walked.
Yeah, that's powerful, baby. That's powerful.
Man, listen, my husband go to work at 3:30 in the morning. It was times he did not go to bed at all. He was sleeping in the daytime. My husband was sleeping, getting him a couple hours of sleep in the daytime. And listen, that's not his biological father. Now you can't tell him that. To him, it's our kids are our kids. We don't do the step parent thing, but this was a very uneasy walk for us. Like it was hard. It was hard. And that's why people get mad, but I talk about my husband. I talk about my husband. Imagine him going through that with me, with boy, and then me getting a lupus diagnosis, sick, hurting, in pain, out the. If I wasn't in the hospital, that boy was in the hospital, and my husband was holding the fort down, baby. He was holding it down, and that's why I praise him the way that I do, and that's why. I tell you all the time, I know this man was made for me. I know he was made for me. My middle name is the name of the street he grew up on. His ex-wife and my ex-husband both share the same birthday. My mother died on his mother's birthday, and his father died on my dad's birthday. Like the numbers, like I don't care. Y'all can say what you want to say. Yeah. It's in the numbers, baby. We were made for each other. Yes, sir. Bro, baby said, "Yes, Miss White. The saying goes, watch how you treat people because you might be in the presence of an angel." That's right. Yeah. Scorpio says they look at people of color that we were trying to get a check. Baby, I did the fool. I told that lady I didn't diagnose my baby. The Houston doctors did. And at that time, she wasn't receiving a check. Mine still don't get a check. My son used to get a check. He was getting a check. I married my husband. And y'all don't ask how. Because he's not his biological daddy. And they told us we owe the government that money back. And he's not even his father, but they told us that we waited too long to go back or anything. And then with JJ, they said that, of course, you got too much income, you can't get the check. Yeah. So, but her doctors tells me all the time, still do it. Even with JJ, just a little side note, she has a behavioral health doctor, a magnificent Black woman who is an adult ADHD person. And she tells Journey all the time, I'm the perfect example of you can do whatever you want to do. So I love that. I love that she encourages my baby. She encourages her. And she's an angel for us as well. Luke says,
like a good doctor.
Mm-hmm. Oh Lord, y'all know I'm a big baby and will cry quick. Oh, I was crying. I'm sorry. Good morning, said facts, Roro. Pump your brakes. Look at me speaking to Troy. Miss Judy said, Lupa, yep, that's why I warned you. That was not my objective, guys. I didn't think it was going to be such a big tearjerker. But look, so many memories flooded back. So many memories flooded back into my head. I didn't even tell y'all about the time my husband was driving down the street. He was doing 45 miles an hour, the speed limit, going down Freedom Drive, and this boy jumped out the car in traffic. Just jumped out. Boom! I learned, when you got to learn the cues of suicide and things of that nature. When somebody's really adamant about taking their life, they take the necessary steps to take their lives. And it's been several times that he told me he's lived, as you see, each time he's had at least 6 attempts on his life. Each time he lived, but each time he did it, he said he regretted it immediately after doing it. And I've heard that so many times the survivors regret it as soon as they've done it. So imagine the people who carry that out and the regret that they have as they're dissipating from this earth. Somebody hanging themselves or SHOOTING themselves, whatever method that they use. Imagine the regret that they have in that time window and they can't come back from it. Because everybody don't survive. And this boy was doing drastic things. And, could he have survived a jump out of a car at 45 miles per hour? Absolutely. But could he survive the car behind us that hit you? Those are the things. So, yeah.
9 times out of 10, you won't. It'll just happen. It's like most of y'all know. My children's father that I married at a young age. He actually planned how he was going to kill himself, and that's what he did. He was successful with it. You just, when people say they're going to do it, I feel like some is authentic, but I remember being prescribed the incorrect, or I had to go through a few antidepressants personally before they found the right one, I guess is what you want to say. But you still got to put in the work. But I specifically, I was on the highway and I had this on one shoulder saying, do it, do it, do it. This on the other shoulder gave me the strength to pick up. I didn't call my parents. I didn't call any family member. I called my job. Why the hell would I call my job and tell my boss that I'm about to drive my car off the highway? She stayed on the phone with me, but there are things such as chemical imbalances in the brain. I've shared with you guys that I would be up 2 and 3 days at a time with no sleep, and my psychiatrist had me on so many different sleeping pills. And they say once the brain is broken, it never heals completely. There's always still a shadow of brokenness in it. That how a limb might get broken and it heals, but that limb was broken, and if you bump it the wrong way, that bone is a little bit more tender than the rest of the areas of your body. So I'm trying to give you the gist of it and let you kind of visualize in your head, people that suffer with depression. There's so many different reasons that people want to commit suicide. There's so many. It can just be something as simple as a chemical imbalance, and people who don't eat properly. I found that out too after having a gastric bypass, because I didn't want to eat. It just literally, your body's not getting all the things that it needs. It's not absorbing properly. So sleep, diet, all those things is a start. And talking to your primary care physician, letting them know. That's why when you go to the doctor, be like, is anybody in your house trying to harm you? Do you feel threatened? Like you get asked those questions, you're like, no, no, no. You know, do you feel like harming yourself? Do you feel like harming someone else? Like, I remember taking a test. There's a test you take. And when I got done with the test, the psychiatrist said, so what kind of day would you say today is? I said, today is a good day. So he sat down and he took his glasses off and he was like, so if you're saying today is a good day with your score, because they score you, that's how a psychiatrist kind of analyzes you in the beginning. You actually take, I forget what the test is called, but it asks you all these questions about your thoughts and how often you think this or what are your activities. Like I also share that with Sissy's son, that that's one of my diagnoses is socialization. You know, when I went through the dark era where I just literally shut the world off. You don't find people when people are missing, look for them. If you know that this their normal routine is to be coming around with family on Sundays for Sunday dinner, and all of a sudden they stop, check on that person. Check on things that don't look the same in your loved one's life, even your neighbors. You know, because what happens to your neighbor can also affect you. You know, I remember somebody letting a bullet loose. You know, I'm not going to say who, but that bullet traveled through a wall. And just think if you stay in an apartment and a bullet is traveling through a wall because somebody's going through depression, you know, like check on people, care about people. I guess is what the bottom line is. Check on your people. Check on your people. Okay. So I'm sorry I interrupted Sissy, but I didn't want to lose that train of thought. You know, when we were talking about her son actually jumped out of a car. Because let me tell you, I wanted to jump out of a moving car too. I just wanted to be over, you know. So, yeah, I wanted to slide that in there on y'all. So I'm sorry,
when you were talking, Sister, it reminded me of this test. I don't know if y'all can see that. Oh God, it's not going to show up. It's genetic testing. Can y'all see that? It's a genetic testing that can be done. The genetic test is two different kinds, and I've had both done for Journey and one for myself. But it's genetic testing that you can get done to tell you if you're more than likely have a gene that could cause mental illness. Okay. And it's another genetic testing that you can get done, not only for that, but let's say, you know how we were talking about going through different medications and nothing worked, this and that.
right?
It'll tell you that it lets you, the results let you know for certain things what not to take, that you're wasting your time, don't spend your money, go to this. Like, and insurance companies pay for this stuff, but we don't know, you know, again, we're not knowledgeable, we don't know. And your insurance company will rather pay for that testing
Yeah,
than spend all this money on this different medicine that you're not going to need. You know what I'm
right.
saying? I've learned that. I thought about that when you were saying about the medicine wasn't working and stuff like that. But it's and insurance companies do not fight you, but your
Where can they
doctors
get
know about
that at?
your
Just
primary care.
primary care. Okay, that's good to
Um,
know.
if they don't do
That's
it there,
good.
they can source you out, you know, to like a lab core or whatever to
Mm-hmm.
get the testing. So that's something good for everybody to know. That's available. Getting your genes tested. It's a thing called a Fragile X syndrome for children. It's all kind of genetic testing out there, but insurance companies don't mind paying for that. They don't mind. It's your doctors that's got to talk about it. Because see what happens now is the insurance company says, "Oh well, we're gonna pay for this appointment, but you only got 20 minutes with them." You know, so when you go to the doctor, have your questions already written down, things you want to know, have it written down, ready to go, to try to alleviate a whole lot of time, you know,
Right.
because, or will you make an appointment? Tell that doctor when they say, you call, you make an appointment, and they ask you what it's for, add a couple of things on. You know,
Okay.
don't just say my leg hurts. Say I'm having trouble with my leg, my head, my feet, and my back, and I'm just, making something up.
Yeah.
You
Mm-hmm.
can get that longer appointment slot, and you get
Got
that
you.
longer appointment slot, and you can go through the things that you really want to be going through because everything is time based now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that make a lot of sense too.
hmm Miss Judy says, knowing what you both had to fight through is what brings the tears to all of us moms' eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Miss Judy says some people were speaking, and then Miss Judy says my doc wanted me on disability, but denied me because my husband makes too much money. Boy, do I know about that. Insulting. Just say, yeah, you disabled, but yeah, you ain't getting nothing. You ain't getting nothing. And I'm eligible to draw off both of my husbands. I can draw from both of them.
Mm.
But yeah, go figure. And my husband, y'all, let me tell you, my husband is honest A, period. That's all I gotta do is tell him we're not together. He's like, I hope you do. he don't play them games, y'all. He's so serious.
He gone.
Bro Baby said God has had his hand on him since he left your womb. A walking testimony. He is, bro. He is. And if he knows you, he'll protect you to no end. He will protect you to no end. Will lay his life on the line for you.
Mm.
He likes hunting and all this stuff. Like, yeah.
He's
Some folks
special.
are
He's so special.
He really is. I remember my bishop told me some years ago, he was like, you protect him at all costs. You protect him at all costs. And he would go to sleep, guys. Like he couldn't, when he would go to sleep sometime, he would wake up and he would be quoting scriptures to me, or not quote so much, not quoting scripture, but telling me about stories in the Bible that I know he didn't know.
Mm.
I know he didn't know the stories, And I said,
Mm-hmm.
God, work with that boy in his sleep. He'd be waking up talking about different stories and all of this stuff in the Bible. And I'm like, that's straight from God.
Mm.
That's straight from God. And but they say mental health illness is a fine line between mental health illness and spirituality. So yeah.
Mm.
But Bridget says, I'm chosen. That's one of the signs we were taught in training. If a person tells you how they're going to unalive themselves to get help immediately, that means they have thought it out. It's called suicide ideation, baby. That's why when people be like, you don't know if somebody gonna hurt themselves, or you don't know. If you're not trained, you wouldn't know. But like Miss Bridget, she knows. Like when people are like, you don't know if I want to take myself out of here or not. That's an attention cry in most cases.
Right.
Miss Bridget said the PHQ 9/10 test, baby. She know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Net said, right, Bridget. And then oh yeah, we learning some stuff today, aren't we?
Yeah.
She says, and I earned my lifetime credits needed for disability and retirement back when I was 35. Miss Judy, you were working. Oh yeah, you was getting it in, baby.
Yep.
Angie says, Miss Judy, Miss Judy, how have your day been going so far? Why was that hard for me to read, y'all?
Tongue
Sixth
twister.
grade, put our cash apps up. And let me speak on the cash apps, guys, if I could. I don't want to get off subject. Yeah, please don't not send I'm chosen cash apps because of me. She's not in my financial situation. And yeah, I'm saying it. And I feel like a lot of times she don't get cash apps because they feel like, oh well, Miss White got it. But she don't. Don't hold her at bay because of me. Please.
Thank you, sister. I got a grandbaby on the way. I want a piggy bank.
Back to the business at hand. She says, you have a good one, Miss White. Yeah, I do. I've been blessed. He got on my nerves sometimes, honey. I love that man. Do you have any idea what caused the mental health? Miss Serene, they told me that with my son, because of the narcolepsy, his mentals were off because he does not sleep properly. And the way they explain it is to just think about yourself when you're tired and you want to go to sleep, you're ill, you're grumpy, your mindset is off. Our brains don't work properly just being tired. So imagine somebody, who has narcolepsy. And the thing about the narcolepsy, I think Ro Baby says she has a friend with narcolepsy. When he's woke, sometimes he could stay woke for extensive amounts of time. This dude would be out walking at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, just walking. I'm like, where are you? Like, and that was another reason why I wanted to be big on the community policing. I wanted them to know who he was. And he said that he would walk because he didn't want to disturb anybody in the household. He was afraid to sleep. So he would just walk outside until the sun would come up again. But then as he got older, he couldn't do it anymore because the narcolepsy got worse as he got older. But he's had the genetic testing done, and it's not a gene in our family. So the only thing that we could think of was the narcolepsy. Yeah. Because I don't know if you were in here when I said his doctor said that he had the fastest REM sleep that she had ever seen. Like she said, I've never seen this at all. And you can look up Carolyn Hart. She's retired. She's an old lady. She said she had never seen anybody go into REM as fast as he did. She had never seen it. But let me tell you,
I got a cash app. Thank you. Good morning, gorgeous.
Aww.
Thank you.
How about that? When he's asleep, guys, when he's asleep, he still hears everything around him. Like he's asleep. If he's sitting right here, he's asleep right now. He would know everything that was being said around him because he has narcolepsy with cataplexy. So even after he wakes up, he can't move. When I was young, they used to say they call it the witch riding your back or whatever. But if you don't know what cataplexy is, Miss Bridget, Ro Baby, does your friend have the cataplexy as well? But he had narcolepsy with cataplexy. But when he's asleep, he knows everything. He has what he calls vivid.
Wow. That is wow.
He knows everything being said around him. I wonder if Ro Baby's friend is like that. If you're in the chat, Ro Baby, could you let me know?
Remember that old saying that Grandma used to say, be careful of something about sleeping. Everybody that sleep ain't sleep or something. Be careful what you say around sleeping. You remember that? This is like an old saying.
Miss Judy said, Angie, very painful. I messed up my knee and can barely put weight on it. You icing it down, Miss Judy? I know you know what to do. She says, yes, ma'am. I was 14. Oh, so sorry, Miss Judy. I hope you feel better. Get some rest.
Yeah, boo.
And you just want to put in money to help with the next giveaway. Just out that in the notes of the cash app. Yes, guys, because Father's Day is right around the corner. Right around the corner. And unfortunately, we don't have as many vendors in this sector that has men things. So I'm going to have to look in to see what me and Sissy can do about buying some things for our men. Miss Judy says, thank you, Angie. I definitely couldn't sleep much because I tossed and turned in my sleep and the pain woke me up. Charmaine says that makes sense. I think she's referring to as to why he could not, where the mental health came from. I also believe that some of the medications cause additional problems. Like you need a medication for the medication. And that side effect causes another side effect, and so on and so forth. It's horrible.
Yep.
Angie says she's sending hugs to you, Miss Judy. And let me back up. That's another good reason to get the genetic testing done to see what medications your body are good for your body and are not good for your body, so you don't find yourself experimenting a lot with things that you don't necessarily need.
I think it was also Chatty. No, I'm sorry, Sissy. I was going to say, you just made me think about Chatty was mentioning like some kind of way. You know how I would tell you how my ex would drink and he would turn into like this demon, like he would like liquor just didn't go. Like he might have been a person that might enjoy cannabis versus alcohol. She was saying some kind of test like that, if I'm not mistaken. Like, what your what is it called? Like your luxury drug of choice. I don't want to say drug of
Your
choice,
choice.
but
Well,
yeah, that would
your likes. Yeah.
yeah. So it's kind of like the same thing, huh? Like the test that tell you what medicines to avoid, and
They tell you if it's gonna work for your body. Like,
mhm.
is it for you?
And that's the one you said get from your doctor.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I heard that. That's the test you can order from your doctor.
Yeah. Um, it was something else I was getting ready to say. I forgot what I was getting ready to say.
We was talking about,
Yeah.
you was talking about well, we was concentrating on Miss Judy too and her little leg, but excuse me, you and
Oh,
Miss
that's what I was saying. I know it jogged me when she was saying that, because when she asked and they said it was the narcolepsy, because my mind was saying that because I thought because his dad was an alcoholic. I thought because his dad was an alcoholic, he developed mental health issues. And they told me that that could happen, that it often does happen, but in his case, that they felt like it was the narcolepsy, because the narcolepsy increases as they grow older, and we didn't see any of those signs, as younger. So, and I'm still gonna say it probably had some contribution to it.
when he was
A major.
when he was little, did he sleep like a baby, normal like a baby though? When he was a baby?
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, he did. Miss Judy says, Miss Sexray, I wasn't paying attention and tripped over a paper and tried to catch myself with this leg, and it has already bad. Oh, Miss Judy, that sounds so painful. In her knee. I'm gonna show you something that I use, Miss Judy, when I have a lot of pressure and stuff in my legs that might can help you. Miss Judy says my mom slept that way. She could hear a pin drop, made it hard to try and sneak on the phone or sneak out. Yep, that boy know everything. Ro Baby said yes. I think she's saying yes, Miss White. She does. So you're saying yes, she does have cataplexy, and when they have cataplexy, they are wide awoke. Their body is in a frozen state. They can't move. They can't do nothing. It takes a few minutes for it to come together. This is the first time I've actually seen a clear picture of you guys. I just wanted to say that both of you women are beautiful. Both beautiful, beautiful women. Thank you so much, Miss Nat. Thank you. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I always say. Miss Judy says, yes, ma'am. I've been icing it and using a wheelchair so I don't put weight on it. I'd rather be giving birth with no pain meds again to deal with this pain. Wow.
That's terrible, MJ. Feel better.
You want to put a little bit of weight on it, Miss Judy, because no weight at all. It doesn't prepare it for when it does get it. You want to do a little bit of weight at the time. She says, oh, Lord, yes, because going through the side effects, trying to find the right med is horrible. One had me on the brink of my unalive bed, and I didn't know it. I was just tired all the time. What's the name of that test? It's just genetic testing results. First Step. It's done by First Step. So,
well, thank you, Miss Jeanette.
I'll get the exact name of what to ask for, Miss Judy, and make sure that you have that. Sex Ray says, Miss Judy, thinking about your pain. When I try to put weight on it, my leg gives out. You need an ER visit, sure. You need an ER visit.
Yep. Legs giving out is not normal.
Well, she said she fell and hurt her leg.
Dang. My mom slept that way. Okay, we got that one. And this is the first time we got that. And I said, thank you, Miss Net Net, for that compliment. And Miss Judy, been icing it and using a wheelchair. Got that. Oh, Lord, yes, because going through the side effects, trying to find the right med is horrible. Oh, she read that one. Dang, I'm way off.
Miss Judy, this is what I do to help move pressure around in my body, like to, and I think you need that as a roomy chick. Have you tried this, Miss Judy? These things work miracles.
It won't show, sissy, because of the green screen, I think. When you hold it up, it disappears. Oh, okay, now we can see it. Dang, I never seen one of those before.
This is a big one. I have different sizes, and just get into your body, wherever
okay.
Your neck, your back. She says, no, ma'am. Miss Judy, I'm gonna send you one, okay? I have your address from the basket. I'm gonna send you one of these.
That's sweet.
I'm gonna send you one. You should have this in your repertoire of healing things. It's great. She said, yes, they have those at Five Below. Yeah, they got bigger ones, smaller ones, medium. And look, I'm rubbing my back now. Wherever you can get it, honey, it feels good. She's going to see her rheumatologist. Are your titers high? Have you had them checked, lady? What are your numbers? Are they? Because, you know, when our numbers are up, it makes it harder for us to heal as well. Yep. So, guys, it is 8:20. We have had a beautiful, beautiful live, if I must say so myself.
Yes, like, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm not even in pain today.
That's good.
I feel super proud that my son even came up here because he kept hesitating. Yeah, I was like, oh God, he's finna flake out on me. Oh God, he gonna do it. And he came, he didn't say, and that's just how he operates. Now he'll probably peep in here a couple of more times when I'm live, and then one day he might be like, Mom, I want to say something to your people.
Oh.
How he is. He's man.
When's his birthday, sissy?
August the 14th, honey. Yeah, Leo.
Leo. It's upper sign.
She says, my numbers are probably high because I can't tolerate the TNF blockers, and my methotrexate doesn't lower them enough alone. That's exactly why you're hurting so bad, because you don't know. You know, when our numbers go up, everything else go down. Miss Judy, did you get on that black seed oil? I bet that's a no.
She probably did, because I think if I'm not mistaken, I think she said she was already taking it. Black seed oil. Yep.
She says she's having a lupus-like flare. That's why my rheumatologist visit next week to see if the donor bone in my body is causing a reaction. And you know, lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, they almost one and the same.
Good morning, Gordon.
One day. What? So how did it taste? How did you do with it? Good morning, gorgeous. How did you handle it? Miss Judy said, I'm on black seed oil, ginger, turmeric, and I even started the ginger oil to rub over the joints. Girl, you sound like my husband with all that concoctions. You sound just like him. He be on those concoctions, honey. But I got to give it to him. He's still youthful and everything. I'm like, it's nasty. I don't want that.
I'm gonna get me some black seed oil. Y'all keep talking about it. I'm gonna try it.
Yep. That's right. And also, Miss Judy, I don't know if you know that there's a thing called how do they call it? Oh Lord, it was just on the tip of my tongue.
Manuka, honey.
Mm-mm. No. She was talking about the lupus. Yeah, the manuka honey, but Miss Judy was talking about lupus. What is it called? Dang, I just drew a whole blank.
Mm.
Let me research. Let me look it up. I don't even know what to look up because I can't think of what I was trying to say. Dang on it. Let me
I
see.
just found out there is a lupus, which is when it starts at rheumatoid and then adds lupus. Black seed. Angie's been taking black seed oil for years. Good Morning Gorgeous said it wasn't horrible. I got the Manila honey too. Yeah, I ain't been taking none of that stuff. I ain't even gonna front, but I sure need to.
Yeah, I forgot what I was trying to say.
We was talking about the black seed.
Seronegative. Lupus seronegative. There are studies showing that a lot of people are having this seronegative lupus and rheumatoid. I do that too much business. That's what I had to do. And the seronegative, meaning it could be in your body but does not show up on your test results.
Mm.
Sometimes when I listen to you talk, Miss Judy, you just remind me of myself so much with this lupus. So you might want to talk to your roomie about seronegative. That's the word.
That is interesting.
Seronegative. You know what I'm talking about, Miss Bridget? Seronegative. She said it wasn't herbal. I got the Manila honey too. I just she meant Manuka honey. That Manuka is expensive, baby. She says, "Thanks for the reminder, GMG. I added the Manuka honey too. That when you took the Manuka, did you notice a burst of energy? That Manuka would give you your little get up." She says, "I need a pill. I'm scared to take the actual oil. The pill and the oil does not give you the same results. It's something about it going straight into your bloodstream with that oil, that compress." She says, "GMG, try the black seed vitamins. That may be better for you. I have both." She
That's
says,
right.
"Yes, my ANA has been negative, and that's the first time with that negative ANA. Well, with the positive ANA. That's when they started searching for me when I fell down the steps and they had to do a urine test. Of course, they want to make sure you're not on no drugs or nothing crazy before they give you pain medicine. They said that I had a very high blood in my urine, that the count was very high. It's microscopic blood. Like I can't see it. We can't see it to the and that's what started me down my little journey, honey, because my numbers were significant. She says, "Yes, I need the energy cause the methotrexate is low dose chemotherapy. I took chemotherapy pills, and let me tell you something. That crap made me sick as a dog."
Methotrexate. Huh.
She says, "Yes, Miss White, it's like an antibiotic." And then Good Morning said, "I take B12, so I really don't know regarding the energy." Oh, okay. "I can't get pain meds because until she figures out what is causing the nonstop flares, she doesn't want the pain meds masking the issues." Bull crap. I disagree.
Well,
You tell that doctor that it is not helping your quality of life, and you use those words exactly. That it
but
is
you've
not
been in
helping your
pain a long time though.
yeah. She don't want it to mask the pain. Tell her you're not 25 years old either. You should be on a low dose.
Follow
And
quick
and at
start
least
instructions.
on a low dose, just make sure you don't get anything mixed with Tylenol or Advil because it will tear your stomach up if you've already dealing with other issues. Because it caused me to have ulcers in my stomach. I had to learn just to take the pure doses of medication without the Tylenol and leave Advil, whatever all that other stuff is built into it.
Yeah, Miss Judy,
Yep.
we want you to have a quality of life. That's, honey, you just don't know how I had to advocate for my mom, for myself. Like, my mom is a retired nurse and broke her body down taking care of people. And they tried to make my mom live in pain. Mm-mm. Let's get on them.
Miss Bridget, in the wintertime, I do the 50,000 IUDs of vitamin D, but in the summer, I'm just out in the sun because that's what it is, the sun. We need that. We need the sun. Just like our stones need charging, our bodies do too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Guys, um, if y'all noticed last week we did a pop-up live, we'll probably do one or two again because we are very, very close to getting monetized. We just got to step our game up. We got to step our game up
Yeah.
and get on the foot. Get on the good foot. Hey. Oh, she says she knows. I have 4 rheumatologists working to figure out what is causing my RA to be so aggressive and why it's not responding to the highest dosage of meds available.
Mm.
Well, look, tell them that you can't figure it out at their mercy to help you along the way.
Right. That part.
She said
So
that's what
he
she
said
did.
to chew on it.
Yeah, chew. Tell Doc, say, listen, Doc, chew on this. I'm hurting. And while y'all trying to figure it out, I'm still hurting.
Right.
But once you get past a certain age, 40 and up, they consider our quality of life. They don't want us in a whole lot of pain.
Yeah.
They don't. So Miss Judy, I think you know better than all of us in here how to advocate for yourself, sis. And I need you to step up on that to advocate for yourself and get yourself out of pain. Have you noticed a difference in your blood pressures?
Cause pain make it go up, baby.
Mm-hmm. She progressed. I used to get the injections in my spine, honey, for pain, and it took a lot of cartilage out. They
Total weight.
don't tell you. They don't tell you that. Mm, they don't tell you that part. So I let them quit going in my spine. Like, leave me, no, just give me some meds and stay out. Because
Right.
my friend was getting it so much, she has no cartilage left. Like, she don't have nothing either. To. Yeah, she suffers drastically. Like, she suffers with that thing. Yep, your hormone too, Miss Judy. That's a big thing. It's you can take maca root. That's very good. But honey, tell your hubby to hold on, baby, because she gonna take him there. She says, it's weird. My blood pressure only goes to 138 over 98 till I reach level 8 pain. After that, it drops to 75 over 52 for level 9 and 10 pain. You got one of them bodies like me. You sound like lupus. I don't want to put nothing on you, but just make sure that they know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
You can get that maca root, Miss Judy. It will help with the hormonals because when our hormones are off, it does throw them numbers off too. But I do the maca root. That's good for us women, especially when we get at a particular age, honey. Your hubby gonna be like, hold on, baby, wait a minute. Hold on. And you're like, no, don't hold on now.
One day I'm gonna call you and I'm just gonna say, okay, give me all the stuff that I need to get.
Yeah. Yeah, 99 is a fever for me too, Miss Judy.
Mm, I know that's right, Bridget.
Yeah,
The
those
last,
were my.
yeah,
They
the
got me.
last one. What you say, sister?
I said they got me with that spinal injection the first couple of times, and then
Mm-hmm.
after the third time, I was like, "This thing ain't really working." And they was like, "Well, let's try it again." I was like, "Why are we trying it again if it's not working?
Right.
Leave me alone."
Yep.
I do too, Miss Judy. I got a long laundry list, honey. But God, but to God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. I always claim, healing to be the children's bread, and I keep it moving. That's all we can do, really, to be honest. Yep, yep. Yep. So, y'all, what we gonna talk about on Saturday is Sissy turn to cook. What we gonna talk about?
This week is rolling by.
Y'all know Diddy got some more lawsuits out there. Yeah, honey. Me too, Miss Bridget. When I first started getting them hot flashes, good God, oh my! I said, "What in the devil is this?" And my mom taught me just about everything I needed to know, so I thought, but she never had hot flashes, so she couldn't teach me about that.
I can't stand to be hot.
Mm-mm. You don't have hot flashes, then, do you?
I do. Yep. I was in my room the other day and my shirt was just getting wetter and wetter. And my daughter was here. She was like, because she was cold. We, got the air on, and I was sweating, and I'm just like, Mama, your shirt, yeah, thanks to you, cause you cold. I can't, be having hot flashes, and I start sweating, and then you don't want the air on, like, ooh, baby.
Mine come from the inside out. Everything I'm burning up on the inside. I was like,
Man.
but I find them getting better as time go on.
Do yours start like at the top of your head and work its way down? Like your hair just start getting wet? Then it's the neck. Then it's the back.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Y'all got any suggestions? Any suggestions? Well, we did get to talk about lupus a little bit for the last Wednesday in the month too, and because the month of May is Lupus Awareness Month as well as Mental Health Awareness Month.
Shout out to our mods, MJ, Sexy, and thank you, ladies. You are awesome, and I love you.
We still got this lady, the bad mayor that we haven't talked about yet.
Y'all want to talk about the mayor? Or y'all want to talk about something else on Saturday?
What y'all want to talk about?
Anybody want to come up and cook with me?
You know what you're cooking?
I got an idea, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I remember somebody saying when they look at raw meat, they get sick. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, somebody in the chat had said that. I think I was doing a meatloaf that day. It's like, oh.
I remember somebody saying that.
Yeah. You wonder if Tangela knows the major. Who is the major? Oh, the mayor. Gotcha. The mayor. Yeah. She probably do, child, with her little hot tail. Where her little butt at anyway? She got me last night, child. She got me up there singing with her.
Oh, Lord, you were singing, sis?
Girl, yeah. I was putting in my DJ request songs.
I was somewhere mad as hell. I was mad yesterday. Lord have mercy. I was on DHAM Live and somebody texted me and said, "Calm down, catch your breath. I know you're mad." Ooh, I was so hot.
Yeah, we almost went live yesterday, you guys.
Yeah, I said this damn phone call shit is getting out of control. But I'm sure if most of y'all was in Uppers Live today, she did a whole complete breakdown from the rooter to the tutor of it all.
Yep. Mhm. No, Scorpio, I didn't dance. Hey, Stacy Jew. So how she get
Hey,
nauseous
Stacy.
when she see meat. Well, when she smell raw meat, she get nauseous. Mm.
What's up, Stacy? Jew.
Mhm. I said the only way I'm gonna dance, honey, is Boots get up there and dance with me.
Who?
and I know that ain't gonna happen, so I ain't gotta worry
Who
about
you,
it.
who you say?
Boots, Blueberry Boots.
Girl, I thought you said Bootsy. I said you trying to take my man. Do y'all know I got a crush on Bootsy?
Lord
I
have
love
mercy.
Bootsy badass.
Mm-mm-mm.
Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why.
I couldn't believe that when she said that, y'all. I was like, what?
It's a low
Right,
key.
gorgeous, right.
It's a low key crush, but I like Bootsy, y'all. Y'all
Mm-mm.
know it. See,
She
guys
hood real.
know. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm chosen fine, Salita. She all right. I was wondering where she at. Like I have not seen Salita. Have y'all seen Salita around? I hope she good. I hope she okay. Cause I sure thought about her. I think yesterday she came across my mind. Yes, Ro
Bootsy
baby, Bootsy, honey,
was really
Bootsy.
good. Got clarity on a lot of things. Shoot, y'all, we can almost have this subject again because it is, going to the different things. Uh Miss Judy said, "I'm chosen. Find Salita. She would dance on camera." Real baby said, "Not Bootsy." Yeah, honey. I like Bootsy. Y'all don't like Bootsy.
Right.
All of
And
y'all know y'all got some kind of little crush out there, some little celebrity crush. Who y'all celebrity crush? Miss White, tell y'all hers. Who's y'all? Who y'all celebrity crush? Y'all don't want to tell. Y'all just want to make me look bad.
yeah, who y'all celebrity crush? All mine are white guys. So
Really?
yes. All the stars of the Vampire Diary guys. Damon, Salvatore, Elijah Michelson, Klaus Michelson, Stephen, Salvatore. Those is my boos.
Miss Judy
Yep.
said she like Morris. Ooh, she said I like his music only.
Richard Gere, Sam Elliott. I love me some Sam Elliott, but not a crush on him. Yeah, Richard Gere, boy. That officer and the gentleman, honey. That's why I go. Yes. Daniel Ezra. Oh, Idris. I kind of got a little crush, I think, on Idris. You know, he might can get it or something, you know. Woo. Just
Now
kidding.
Richard Gere is a sexy man.
Mm-hmm.
He him.
Kind of like Denzel. That swag. But that's it for me. Like I ain't
That
never.
be that lately.
Yeah, he had very. I like Ben Affleck. I think I got a crush on Batman. So I told you I like white guys. I like the Aquaman. What's his real name? He was married to the Cosby girl. Uh,
Lenny.
no, not Lenny. Her husband after him. He played Aquaman.
Oh man, oh yeah. I know who
Yeah.
you're talking about. I can't think of his name, but I know who you're talking about.
And then somebody that I think I got a crush on. I'm just not sure if it's his music that do something to me or if it's him. But he just kind of like fine to me. And that's Damien Escobar. Like he's my bucket list. Like I have to go see him live in concert, honey.
Oh yeah.
Yes, baby. I love him. Yeah, I do got a
Oh,
crush on him. Yeah, I do. Nelly,
oh.
girl, you like Nelly, Angie?
Nelly dope. Nelly dope. I'm happy for him and Ashanti.
Yeah, I am. True, I'll be glad when she had that baby.
Good morning. I just said it used to be Usher, but I guess I'll be celebrity singer forever because I'm now disgusted. She says celebrity single. I like that.
Woo! Well, baby, like
Celebrity.
him young. Mm.
Who world baby like?
She said she like him young, honey.
Oh, okay.
She said Daniel, Ezra, and who is that? Damson? Damson and Idris. Idris ain't young. Who is Damson? Jay, I'm chosen. Let's go listen to October London. Ooh, we has that Marvin Gaye tone. Okay, baby. Yes, we can.
October
October
London.
London.
Them
Yeah,
out.
I'll check them out. I love me some Marvin Gaye too. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget.
October London. Okay.
Salmon. Yes, the Salmon Aquaman. Samoan Aquaman. He's Samoan? I didn't know he was Samoan. I know he's a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I love y'all so much and I appreciate y'all. If I did not call your name and speak, do not charge it to my heart. We love you and we appreciate you. Oh, not Idris Elba, the dude from Snowfall. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep. Well, y'all, we're gonna close it on out. Tell each and every one of y'all to be safe in and out of these YouTube streets.
Yep.
Remember that Chat and Chew loves you. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Remember to keep God first. Remember that God specializes, y'all. He specializes. Your problems are customized just for Him. I think my testimony could attest to that on today that your problems were orchestrated to have a divine healing behind them. Okay. Just know there's nothing too hard for Him, but we have to have faith to go along, work to go along with our faith. Okay. Because having faith alone will not do it. Remember that you can only take one day at a time. But even with one day at a time, don't forget the hours and the seconds that equal that day. Like handle things as they come.
Yep.
Um, just one day at a time, guys. However you want to look at it. I'm sure there's some people in this chat who did not want to come forward and say what they are dealing with, whether it be them, a loved one, a friend, or a coworker. But don't give up. Don't give up. It gets better. And sometimes it might get worse right before it gets better. Y'all know it gets dark. The darkest right before daylight. The fact that right before the sun comes up, it gets the darkest outside. So when things seem like there is no end, just remember that it gets darkest right before daylight. Your change is right around the corner. It may not be your mental health, it may be your finances, okay? It might be your loved one, your children, your job, but just know that darkness, it gets dark right before the daylight comes. So hold on to God's unchanging hand, okay? Hold on. And when you want to let go, just remember to hold on, okay? Hold on, and the change will come. I can attest to that. I'm a living, breathing witness that things will turn around.
Yes.
And whatever your situation is, whatever the situation may be, it will turn around. Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna work in your favor. He's gonna turn it around.
And around and around. Hey, hey.
I remember that. Remember that, y'all. Remember that. Y'all all have a blessed night. And we will see you all on Saturday. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Good night.
Good
Love
night.
y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.